Mapping Conflict. Language, Body, Nation, and Planet by Hannah Pegg. The start of it all, creation. We were all brought into this world, but what for? What's our reason on this planet? Millions of different people of different shapes, sizes, ethnicities, and cultures were put on this planet, and together they form a nation. Yikes, that's a whole lot to handle. How can everyone get along? Well, it is pretty hard for everyone to get along, especially in close proximities. For years, many people have tried to settle their differences through war and bloodshed. War affects not only the people involved, but men, women, and children. Women especially are affected by political injustice. From birth to adulthood, women have always been affected by the words and actions of fathers, husbands, co-workers, and neighbors. Did you know that every day millions of women are impacted by the decisions of men? Women around the world experience extreme forms of abuse, persecution, and unequal treatment in the workplace, society, and at home. Women in Syria, India, and Africa face a brunt of the nation's maltreatment due to predominantly male-run cultures. Ever since the creation of man, get it? Women have been thought of as insuperior. As the planet became subdivided by land masses and imagined boundaries, women were just an afterthought to the man's imagination. What do you mean? Well, this guy, Benedict Anderson, came up with the idea of imagined communities. Imagined communities are what make us feel connected with people everywhere. Each community is full of different types of people. We categorize them by skin color, gender, race, and nationality. Is that why everyone looks the same in certain communities? Exactly. Sometimes you'll find communities specific to people with similar attributes. In the United States, we're considered a melting pot of different races, nationalities, religions, and cultures. Wow, that's super cool. But I don't understand. Why were women never imagined if the nation is so diverse? Well, you see, in Anderson's communities, men were always the leaders. They were the ones who took care of the land and ran it. So how can I get involved? There have been many women who changed the name of imagined communities. Susan B. Anthony fought for the right to women's political vote. Indira Gandhi and Mother Teresa were important powerhouses for women in India. In fact, Indira Gandhi was India's first and only female prime minister. Harriet Tubman and Rosa Parks were two very influential African American women in the United States. They're looked upon as revolutionaries when it comes to the anti-slavery and desegregation movements. Today, we have women like Arundhati Roy and Amma Ata Aidoo who have found different approaches to changing the world. How'd they do that? Well, they're both critically acclaimed activists when it comes to women's rights, as well as political activists. These women wrote books that displayed the struggle of women in foreign nations and how they were directly impacted by men in their societies. So books can explain anybody's problems? Exactly. Many activists write about national turmoil and personal conflict. They do so by using particular language. By using certain words, an author can dictate the concerns of the masses through a character and their actions. Many authors have helped to shed light on major concerns by publishing their books in the common vernacular, like English. By publishing them in English, it makes it accessible for many people worldwide to become aware of global problems. Oh, so if I wanted to write about homelessness, I could publish a book and it would make people more aware? That's been proven true before. In Syria, for example, many Americans have become aware of the severe internal conflict between the Alawites and the Sunnis. However, Sometimes the media tends to obscure the truth. What we see on TV may not be as true as a first-hand account. Not all literature is 100% truth. Sometimes an author may lie or be uneducated in certain viewpoints. Many authors talk about oppression of others, yet hold positions of higher status. But, despite their individual differences, they still make an effort to understand and help others. So someday I can help change the world by writing a book? You can say that. A majority of our history was written down so that it could be observed years and even centuries down the road. Many men and women can voice their concerns, achievements, or failures in books, and that makes us all feel like one big community. Imagined communities may seem like a big concept, but ultimately they tie us all together. We're all just bodies, just trying to speak the universal language of acceptance. And if you really think about it, we're just people on one planet in a solar system surrounded by other worlds and other problems. It's all contrived between bodies. So, how big are our problems in the scheme of things?